Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Mr. Cartool M60 car inclinometer. Now, I got this off Amazon, came in an Amazon mailer in this box. And before I get into this, I just want to throw out there that I am looking for a more serious tool. So if any of my viewers know of a good inclinometer, and or a good compass to put in a four-wheel drive, please, in the comments, let me know. So let's get this out of the box, show you what we're dealing with here. I was eyeballing this on Amazon for some time. Price on this is $39.79. Got some documentation there. And I decided to pull the trigger on it when I was doing some Black Friday shopping. It never went on sale, so it is what it is. But I guess some people, back when this first released on Amazon, were paying much more. There's the screen. You got two buttons on top for mounting and for the power. Okay. We got a 12-volt plug-in power, and we've got a hardwire 12-volt option. And I guess this works in 24-volt systems too, from what I was reading. And we got our mount. Now they give you this sticky mounting pad, and they give you a sticky mounting pad that you could do here. So that's the full contents. Take a look at this stuff. Okay, service card. This is the manual. Now, when I first got this, I already pulled it out once to play with it, so I'd have some idea what I'm doing here. Instructions. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. And page 4, last page. Okay, before we go out in the truck and get this going and I show you what it's all about, let me give you some details here. Physical dimensions. This is 5 inches long, inch and 1.18 inches deep, and 2.3 inches high, or 12.7 by 2.9 by 5.9 centimeters. Screen size, they say 7 centimeters or 2.75 inches. You know, our screen is right there. It's got one of those films on it. I'm not going to take that off right now. We're just going to leave that on. To give you an idea of size, here is my smartphone. Give you an idea of size we're talking about here. It is what it is. What functions does this have? It has 8 functions. It has a speedometer, a vehicle tilt and pitch, voltage, voltage check, satellite time, compass, altitude, longitude and latitude coordinates. Alright, it is switchable from kilometers per hour to miles per hour. It has brightness adjustments, so you can run it brighter during the day or tone it down at night. And it comes with a 2-year warranty. We're going to talk about the function and how to program this when you get it. So I have the hardwire in cable hooked up to my regulated 12-volt power supply here. We're going to kick it on. Alright, now you notice I have a piece of black electrical tape here. That's covering the longitude and latitude because you don't need to know my location. Alright, I'll show you that when we go for a drive later on here. As you see, we got our pitch and roll, and right now that's at 6 degrees for our pitch. So we're going to walk through some basic functions and programming. So the first thing is you have these two buttons. You have a right button and you have a left button here. And the left button, short presses of this can change the brightness. So you can go real low. So it looks like you only really got two settings, low and high. Not terrible, but it is what it is. A short press of the right button will reset this gauge to 0. So when you get it mounted in your vehicle and where you want, as long as you're on level ground, you can hit this and see how that zeroed that out. There you go. A long press of the left button for 3 seconds enters the setting interface. So that's where we go to program. Okay, right now it's really small there, but it says mph for mile per hour. And if you see, it went over to kilometers per hour. Sorry, my finger's in the way. It's really small. But you see that kph, mph. If I hit the left button again, we're going to hold that button, left button. Okay. Now it's asking us to set the upper speed limit alarm, meaning if you exceed the speed limit, it'll start chiming at you. I got it set for 75. And then you can short press either of the buttons to go up or down. A long press on the left button again will take you to the next setting. Now this is a setting where you can set up the digital speedometer in here and sync it with your vehicle. Now what I did is I put a -3 miles per hour on here because I have an app on my smartphone that's pretty accurate. It matches exactly what my vehicle speedometer says, and that's the only adjustment I had to do. So you can go up or you can go down, depending on which button you press. A long press to the left-hand button takes you into the next mode. Now this is time. It's set to military time. I don't know if there's a way to get out of military time, but it syncs up with the satellites and you can get it into your correct time zone. Right now it's perfectly set, so I'm not going to mess with it, but you can go up or you can go down. So right now it's 7:21 if you don't know how to read military time. A long press of this again. Now it goes into the voltage, and this I kind of found surprising. You can alter how many volts this reads. I am not messing with that, but you can go up or down. Right now it's reading 14.7. For my regulated supply, that's probably pretty accurate. Long press of the left button again. I am not sure what that setting is right there, because it's not even in the instructions, so I'm not going to mess with it. Long press one more time. It takes us back to mile per hour. So we're done programming. Long press of the right button takes us back. Now, one thing I did notice, when you switch back and forth between mile per hour, kilometer per hour, the height right here switches between feet and meters. So that is accurate. Okay? Voltage gauge once again, and we have the chime here. You can turn that on or off. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So a 2-second press of the right hand button will turn the speaker off. 1/1000, 2/1000, boom. It's turned off. So now it's not going to chime, it's not going to do anything when you do too much. Do it again, 1/1000, 2/1000, turns it back on. To hear that chime, see, it thinks we're taking a nosedive. So that is the chime. That's pretty much all the settings. Pretty simple device, pretty straightforward. I'll just pitch this a little bit. You can see the inclinometer start to work. And that's telling you that, hey, you're going at a pretty steep angle. What's going on? Same thing when you go this way. Tip. Now, one thing about these type of devices is this is going to be affected by inertia. So unless you're driving really slow, when you take a turn or something, it's going to register that inertia like you're tipping over. So one thing to note is you have a 90-day warranty on these things. So it's very important that when you get it, you power it up, you check it out, put it in your vehicle, drive around for at least a week or two to make sure it's functioning correctly. And that is what we're going to do. We're going to take this out, we're going to put it in my truck, and I'm going to take you out for a drive. We're in my pickup truck, and we are at a local park called Mill Pond Park. If you can make out those longitude and latitude numbers right here, then you should be able to punch that in and know exactly where I am. Okay, there is a steep hill up here. We're going to go up the hill, and we're going to test the inclinometer. I've got it reset. I'm not using the included mount. I got this in a cell phone holder for the moment, and we're going to see how that works. Because I really don't want to permanently mount it in this truck. It's for my other off-road vehicle. All right, let's do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to go slowly up this hill. It's pretty steep hill. I'm guessing it's between 7 and 10 degree grade. But see, right now we got inertia because we're moving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get halfway up here and I'm going to stop. I'm going to see what this thing reads. Huh, it's only reading 2%. That can't be right. Okay, got a little inertia going. It's definitely steeper than that. All right, not to worry. We have another location that we're going to drive to that has a serious hill on it. And we're going to go down it, do a U-E, and come back up it. So you're going to see this in action. I'm sorry about the bumpiness. Here in Michigan, our roads suck because all our tax money goes to nonsense. It never goes to fixing our roads. Dang, did I just create treason there by what I said? I probably did. Okay. My speedometer is reading a little bit more than 20. On that, it says 22. I think that's about accurate. I'm driving through a residential neighborhood here, so I can't go above 25. And yes, I drive like a little old lady. Alright, now we're heading downhill. This hill isn't as steep as the other hill, but it is registering a little bit on the inclinometer. I have a stop sign I gotta come here to. As you can see, once we're fully stopped. You see how the percentage number at the top there changes. Alright. So we're almost to this other hill. Hopefully it'll read a little bit better. I don't think we just had enough angle. Okay, we're almost there. And I gotta make a left-hand turn. It's gonna be a sharp turn. All right, now we're going down this hill. Yeah, we're at a little higher. I gotta go in here. There's another hill going up. Then we're gonna make a U-E and come back. And I'm gonna pause on each of these hills to see what kind of reading we got, because these are a little steeper. This is another local park. It's Curtis Park, if you ever want to look it up or check those numbers on screen. coming up here where I can make a U-E. As you see, the compass works, but the compass only works once you're in motion. It tells you what direction you're going, because this is all satellite GPS based. Alright, making a U-E. Another thing you'll notice, the compass will only read 8 cardinal directions. So if you're halfway in between north and northeast, it's probably going to pick one, north or northeast. Alright, we're on a hill right now. I'm stopping. It's reading -2, -3% grade. Maybe more like 5. But that could be the way I have this right now zeroed. Coming up over here on a flat spot. Okay. We are on a flat spot right here, and I am stopped. Okay, it says we're tipping one way. That might be true. So we're gonna come up here, and we're heading for that steep hill. And I'm gonna have to stop on that hill to make a turn. So we should get some kind of reading, because this hill is steeper than the other one. Alright, we are stopped on that hill. It's reading like a 6 to 7% grade. Alright, let's go do one more roundabout and then back home. So I'm making a turn. If you'll notice, every time we do inertia, the tilt and roll is affected. So we're going to come up here and we're going to do another U-E. And if you heard the alarm, it'll probably go off again. Alright, time for a U-E. Sorry about the bumps. What can I say? Our parking lots suck too. Alright. I think that's enough. You get the point. I've already checked that speedometer a bunch of times. I've got it dialed right in. And yeah. So I'm going to see you back at the house. See a quick driving with it, you get an idea of how it works and what it looks like. Sorry that was so bumpy. It's just the nature of the beast here. Our roads are terrible. Sorry. And I'm driving an old truck. I probably need new shocks. So, one thing I want to point out that I didn't point out earlier is the 12-volt guy here has a push-on, push-off button, which makes it really nice if you don't want to hardwire it. It's in there. You can turn it on and off when you want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run with this in the pickup truck for the next 2 or 3 weeks on the daily and let you know what I think about it when I come back. It's amazing how quick 3 weeks just flies by. I am on the last part of my shutdown vacation before I go back to my factory job. And I've used this daily. It's been over 3 weeks, and I think I can give you my honest opinion. It's interesting. Digital gauges, like I said, I'd like an analog set if I can find them. I'm kind of on the lookout. Hit me up in the comments if you can point me in the right direction for good ones, not cheap junk. So I think for me, from my point of view, now granted, I have limited experience in this, but this particular gauge is somewhere in between like a very sophisticated tool and a toy. I think it's somewhere right there in the middle. On certain features, it might swing more toward sophisticated tool, like the GPS, The longitude and latitude coordinates that it's giving all the time. It's updating as you're driving. The compass seems to be pretty accurate. Granted, it can't show you in between those 8 cardinal directions. Kind of annoying. You know, other than that, it works. It delivers on what they said. They said, hey, it does this, this, and this. Well, it does. So I think it's really up to you whether or not you'd be interested in it. The only other thing I got to say is really, really bright sunlight. If you have this on its brightest setting, you can see it, but if the sunlight is shining on the screen this way, you're not going to see much. You can kind of see it, but it kind of gets drowned out. I tried to do some filming with this camera during the day just to show you the difference, and I couldn't even see it in the viewfinder. So maybe it's in my camera settings, I don't know, but I couldn't pick it up on camera. I could see it with my naked eye, but not the camera. So there's all that to consider. The other thing is the included mount looks flimsy to me. Alright, I was using like one of those clamshell cell phone holders to hold this. And I can say this. If it moves around in the holder or not, you get false readings. So probably the best thing to do is use some double-sided tape on this and find somewhere on your dash that you're okay with it and gluing it semi-permanently there. Other than that, I really don't have anything else to say. Buy it, don't buy it, it's entirely up to you. It's not terribly expensive. You know, if you're going very slow, like maybe a rock crawl or something like that, I'd say some of the, you know, tilt and inclination readings are somewhat accurate. You know, it all depends on how well you zero it out. But that's my opinion, my thoughts. So everybody have a wonderful night, and I'll see y'all later on out on those trails. Maybe I'll wave as I'm going by. Alright, thank you for watching. Kira, say good night. Thank you.